Welcome back, everyone. You're watching our Coastal Living Ranch Edition. Now, we've been on quite the adventure so far that I know I've worked up a little bit of an appetite. So Gail is going to share her famous salmon recipe with us today as our coastal cook. Tell me about this recipe, Gail.
Well, the salmon is with balsamic vinegar and cherry tomatoes, a lot of onion, garlic, a little oil, and it is delicious.
Lots of flavor. And
Yes.
how'd you come across this recipe?
I found it through the Food Network, and I've tweaked it a little bit just to make. I like a little more balsamic and onion than
Okay.
it calls for, but it is tender and delicious.
All right, well, we can't have two chefs in the kitchen, so I'm going to let you get started, and I'm
Okay.
so excited to give it a go.
All right, thank you. The first thing you need to do is make the balsamic tomato sauce, and it's real simple. You take your virgin olive oil, get a good virgin olive oil if you can because it's just better. You put in 3 tablespoons, and then you add your onions, and you're going to saute them for about 5 minutes because you want them tender and clear. And I preheated the oven to 425. You're going to cook the salmon on a very hot oven for a short period of time. That gets it seared and cooked through. You've got prepared, you've taken 1 entire pint of cherry tomatoes. Again, I add about half of another pint just to give it a little extra tomato flair. You've got chopped garlic, about 2 teaspoons of chopped garlic you're going to add. You've got 4 salmon slices, and you've got fresh basil that you're going to julienne, and I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. Now you want to take your sliced garlic, the 2 teaspoons, and put it all in with the onions and continue sauteing it for about a minute more. Not too long, you don't want to burn your garlic. So I've got it on a pretty hot stove right now. You take your cherry tomatoes, pour them all in, stir it around a little bit, and now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Okay. And then you're just going to let that simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. I've got a hand-forged cast iron skillet that was made, and you want to put it on 5 minutes on the stove, very, very hot. So it's on full high heat for 5 minutes. Okay, now you want to take your salmon fillets and you want to cover them in olive oil. On the flesh side, you want to generously cover with salt and pepper. You can see that the cherry tomatoes are over here simmering. That's going to be delicious. Okay, now this is going to sit here for 4 minutes. Carefully remove it from the heat, and then you're going to reverse it to skin side down. As you can see, it is blackened on the top. It's going to go in the oven, which again was set at 425 for 8 minutes. Now, while that's cooking, we're going to come up with a dessert real quick. This is the easiest dessert you'll ever make. In one bowl, you're going to mix 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Then what you have done is I have gotten 1 cup of lemon sorbet, and I have thawed it. You can thaw it in your refrigerator overnight, or you can put it in the microwave for about a minute until it is liquid. You want to take 3/4 of a cup, which is about 3/4 of a can of Eagle brand, and you add your lemon mixture to it. Then you pour your lemon mixture into your pre-whipped cream. You don't want to beat it, you just want to gently stir it together, and you want to pour into a graham cracker pie crust. Then you want to put this in your freezer. You can do it for 2 hours if you're going to serve it that night, or you can do it the day before and freeze it overnight. And I'm going to put this in the freezer, and I'll bring a prepared one out for you to see in just a moment. Here is our frozen pie that we will have for dessert, but it is absolutely delicious. It's light, flavorful, and simple and easy to make. We're going to tin it and let it sit for 5 more minutes, and it's going to finish baking in that 5 minutes under the tent. So the last thing you want to do before you serve your fish is julienne your basil. And if you don't know what it means to julienne your basil, it's real simple. You take your basil leaves, tear them off the stem. You want to roll them, it's kind of like you just roll a flour tortilla into a little roll, and then you slice it, real thin slices like that. I'm putting it in right here at the end because you don't want your leaves to be totally wilted, but you want them to cook in there a little bit. It adds some beautiful color and an excellent accent flavor for the top of your fish. And then we're going to top it with our balsamic tomato glaze.
All right, well, thank you, Gail, for teaching us how to make this delicious meal. It looks amazing, and now it's time for the taste test.
Yes,
Let's
give it a
do
try.
it. Gotta get a little bit of everything in there. Give me a tomato.
Oh, so good.
That's delicious. I gotta try this one at home.
And like you saw, it's very easy to make, lots of flavor.
Yeah, and you made dessert right in the middle of it
And
all.
dessert
So,
right in the middle.
Yeah, we knocked it all out. This is amazing. You have to try this recipe at home. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
You're very welcome.